يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. وبعد, we stopped in Hadith al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam last time. Hadith al-Bukhari is the Hadith of Imam al-Bukhari, where the angel is communicating with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala permission while we are in the womb of our mothers. أي رب نطفة أي رب علقة أي رب مضغة أي رب ذكر أم أنثى أي رب أشقي أم سعيد أي رب ما رزقه أي رب ما أجله. قال ويكتب الملك ويقضي ربك ما يشاء. Oh my Lord, is it sperm? Do we fertilize it or we'll throw it? أي رب, oh my Lord, is it علقة, leech, or we will make it dropped? Oh my Lord, is it mudghah, morsel? It will become a baby in the future, or it's gone. Oh Rabb, oh my Lord, أذكر أم أنثى, is it a male or a female? Oh my Lord, ما رزقه, what is the rizq? What's the provision of that baby? أي رب, oh Lord, ما أجله, what's the term? How long he will live? Then al-Malak, the angel, will write down exactly what Allah told him. وَيَقْضِي رَبُّكَ مَا يَشَاءُ, and exactly what was written will be the destiny for that individual. This hadith in Hadith al-Imam al-Bukhari that shows that al-rizq maqsoom, al-rizq muqaddar, the provision is predestined, and everything will be according to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala predestined. Al-badanu ya'mal, we work hard with our bodies. We walk in the morning, we go to the job, we go back, but the heart has to be related to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Al-Hikmah said, إِذَا أَرَادَ اللَّهُ أَن يُظْهِرَ فَضْلَهُ عَلَيْكَ خَلَقَ ثُمَّ نَسَبَ الْعَمَلَ إِلَيْكَ. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to give you something, He will create that things and He will facilitate that things for you. And you will go and you will do it. متى أطلق لسانك بالطلب فاعلم أنه يريد أن يعطيك. Even when we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, I need this. Ya Allah, facilitate for me this. Ya Allah, make easy this. Just to know that topic or to remember that topic, to ask Allah for that topic, He facilitated for you. Otherwise, a lot of people, they don't know about what you are talking about. They cannot even think about that request. So to ask Allah a request, it's facilitation from Allah to allow you to ask and to request. And al-ayat, Quran is very clear in this matter. Ya ayyuhan nas, O mankind, اذكروا نعمة الله عليكم هل من خالق غير الله يرزقكم من السماء والأرض لا إله إلا هو فأنا تؤفكون. O mankind, O people, remember the favor of Allah upon you. Is there any creator other than Allah who provides for you from the heavens and earth? There is no deity except Him. So how are you deluded? What makes you deluded? What makes you feel like, the one or your rizq is with someone else who has control over it? Al-Raziq is Al-Khaliq, and Al-Khaliq is Al-Raziq. And Allah want to confirm this meaning. He said in the surah, in Surah Al-Dhariyat, ayah 22, وَفِي السَّمَاءِ رِزْقُكُمْ وَمَا تُوعَدُونَ فَوَرَبِّ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ إِنَّهُ لَحَقٌّ مِثْلَ مَا أَنَّكُمْ تَنْطِقُونَ. And in heavens is your sustenance. He did not say that the sustenance on earth. He said that the sustenance in heaven, no one can reach heaven. No one can touch it. It's provided, it's protected, it's preserved. No one can even destroy it or change it or turn it or transform it or delay it. It's in heaven. وَفِي السَّمَاءِ, it's not in the bed. It's not in your company. It's not with your boss. It's not with your job. It's not on land. It's in heaven. وَفِي السَّمَاءِ رِزْقُكُمْ وَمَا تُوعَدُونَ. And all what you have been promised. And in heaven is your sustenance as also that which you have or you are promised. Then Allah swear, and He made an oath. فَوَرَبِّ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ إِنَّهُ لَحَقٌّ مِثْلَ مَا أَنَّكُمْ تَنْطِقُونَ مِثْلَ مَا أَنَّكُمْ تَنْطِقُونَ. He said, and in heaven, then by the Lord of the heaven and earth, indeed, it is the truth, just as sure as it is that you are speaking. If you believe, if you think, if it's truth that you can speak, you can talk, that's exactly how the other side. And Bedouin, he heard Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala making the oath, and he said, a Bedouin who knows the meaning of the Quran, he said, سَمِعَهَا أَعْرَبِيٌّ فَقَالَ مَنْ ذَا الَّذِي أَغْضَبَ الْكَرِيمَ حَتَّى يُقْسِمْ. Who made Allah, who upset Allah, who made Allah, and who in that state where he forced Allah to make an oath. Allah doesn't have to make an oath. He's not in need to say فَوَرَبُّ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ إِنَّهُ لَحَقٌّ مِثْلَ مَا أَنَّكُمْ تَنْطِقُونَ. He said He is a Raziq, that's fine. Who made a Raziq swear? It's because of the doubt of the people, doubt of human being. Inna Allah, as Allah said in the Quran, Inna Allah huwa ar-razzaqu dhul quwwati al-mateen. Indeed, it is Allah who is the continual provider, the firm possessor. Inna kulla shay'in khalaqnahu biqadar. Indeed, all things we created with predestination. Wa in min shay'in illa indana khaza'inuhu wa ma munazziluhu illa biqadarin ma'lum. And there is not a thing but that with us are its depositories, and we do not send it down except according to a known measure. So there is a known measure that people do not know. And those known measures are coming gradually in stages. And Allah knows why there is a delay, and where there is less, where there is more, and where. So it's Allah who knows, because He knows the future, He knows the unknown, and we do not know. And because of all these ayat and other ayat, وَمَا مِن دَابَّةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ رِزْقُهَا. And there is no creature on earth but that upon Allah its provision. وَيَعْلَمُ مُسْتَقَرَّهَا وَمُسْتَوْدَعَهَا كُلٌّ فِي كِتَابٍ مُبِينٍ. And He knows its place of dwelling and place of storage. All is in a clear register, clear book عند الله تعالى. Every time I read this ayah, it gives you hope. It gives you, a clear that everything's under control. Why you have to put sometimes yourself in Allah's stand and think like you are God, and think like you are the provider, like you are the sustainer, like you are the creator. We don't have, all what we have to do is stand up and walk and look for our rizq and go to the right path, and for rizq will come from Allah. This ayah, وَعِنْدَهُ مَفَاتِحُ الْغَيْبِ لَا يَعْلَمُهَا إِلَّا هُوَ وَيَعْلَمُ مَا فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ وَمَا تَسْقُطُ مِنْ وَرَقَةٍ إِلَّا يَعْلَمُهَا وَلَا حَبَّةٍ فِي ظُلُمَاتِ الْأَرْضِ وَلَا رَطْبٍ وَلَا يَابِسٍ إِلَّا فِي كِتَابٍ مُبِينٍ. And with Him are the key of the unseen. None knows them except Him. And He knows what is on the land and in the sea. Not a leaf falls, but that He knows it. And no grain is there within the darkness of the earth, and no moist or dry thing, but that is written in a clear record عند الله تعالى. ما ترك من الجهل شيئا من أراد أن يحدث في الوقت غير ما أظهره الله. All what in it, all what we see, there is no mistakes in it. There is no coincidence. It's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The mass people in Muslim country, a lot of Muslim country, they have a tradition, especially people who are cultivating, the grain and the seed, and when they threw those seeds, it's a dry seed. They used to have a poem, those farmer, with their nature, with their iman. They were not scholars, they're not fuqaha or mufassirun or huffaz, but that's what they inherited from their grandfather. They threw the seed, and what they said, حَبٌّ يَابِسٌ. It's a dry seed, Ya Allah, a dry seed. حَبٌّ يَابِسٌ فِي بَلَدٍ يَابِسٌ بَيْنَ يَدَيْكَ يَا فَاطِرَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Between your hands, Ya Allah. A dry seed in a dry land, in a dry dust, in your hand, Ya Allah. Do whatever He wants. And that's true. When you go to the Quran, that's exactly what Allah told us in the Quran. أَفَرَأَيْتُمْ مَا تَحْرُثُونَ أَأَنْتُمْ تَزْرَعُونَهُ أَمْ نَحْنُ الزَّارِعُونَ. Tell me about the seed that you sow in the ground. Is it you that make it grow, or are we the grower? Who is the grower? All what we do, we put the seed in the land. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it grow and make it benefit or make it, and then we cultivate. And it's our sumulina, our food or provision or qut. This is how people survive. But who is the grower? Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A lot of ahadith, a lot of ayat, and all these ayat, all these ahadith that I'm mentioning here is for the mu'min to understand very important things. You don't have to be greedy. You don't have to be a predator like what we see today in our life. You don't have to have, that lust and that greediness and jasha and tama and hatred and enmity toward others to provide or to procure or preserve or protect your rizq. You don't need to use al-haram to get your rizq. All what people are using the haram, all what they are doing is they are just taking their own risk but through haram. If they just wait, they will get it from halal way. So not by envy people or harm people that you protect and you preserve your own rizq. Your rizq will come to you no matter you are mu'min or kafir, you believe in Allah or you do not believe in Allah. إن أول ما خلق الله حديث عبادة بن الصامت, similar to hadith al-Bukhari that we mentioned before. عبادة بن الصامت رضي الله تعالى عنه said, النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم in the hadith said, إن أول ما خلق الله تعالى القلم. The first creation that Allah created was the pen. When Allah created the pen, قال جل وعلا اكتب, write down. Al-qalam, the pen, answered, Ya Allah, my Lord, what I have to write down? He said, اكتب, write down. مقادير كل شيء حتى تقوم الساعة. Write down the predestiny of every single thing in this life until the day of judgment comes. Then the pen starts writing. That's exactly what we have in our life. Then another hadith عن عبد الله بن عمر, hadith Muslim, كتب الله مقادير الخلائق قبل أن يخلق السماوات والأرض ب50,000 سنة. Allah predestined, or He wrote maqadir, the predestiny of all mankind before He created them 50,000 years before He created the heavens and earth. Allah wrote in Kitab al-Mahfuz, in the tablet. Al-Hadith, another hadith in Sahihain, Bukhari and Muslim. ثم يرسل الملك, Allah will send the angel to the womb. They are called ملائكة الأرحام. They are called the angel of the womb. فينفخ فيه الروح. He will blow in the ruh, the soul, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala permission after 40 days or according to the ahadith. ويؤمر بأربع كلمات. Then He will order 4 words. He will command, He will say 4 words. Allah will order him for 4 things. بِكَتْبِ رِزْقِهِ, for his risk provision, while he is in عَالَمُ الْأَرْحَامِ فِي بُطُونِ أُمَّهَاتِكُمْ. وَأَجَلِهِ, his life, وَعَمَلِهِ, his life, his actions and deed in this dunya. وَشَقِيٌّ أَمْ سَعِيدٌ, he will be blessed and happy or miserable or evil. Those are the 4 things that the angel will write down in every single baby born before Allah, when Allah sent the ruh, the soul, to that human being. So He write down his rizq, his sustenance, his ajal, his life, endurance, his amal, his action, and is he shaqi am sa'id, happy, obedient, or disobedient and evil. Then Nabi continued the hadith with a beautiful word, which a lot of people, they may be confused when they read those ahadith. He said, وَأَجَلِهِ وَعَمَلِهِ وَشَقِيٌّ أَوْ سَعِيدٌ. Then he said, وَالَّذِي لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا غَيْرُهُ. فَوَالَّذِي لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا غَيْرُهُ. I swear by the one who there is no one except Allah. إن أحدكم لا يعمل الزمان الطويل. One of you will work very hard, the long life. لا يعمل الزمان الطويل. He will work long life. فيما يبدو للناس, what people may see, what appear to people. Seemingly, what I see, this human being or this man, he has been doing this for a while. For 20, 40, 50 years, he has been, he used to pray. He used to give zakat. He used to go to the Hajj. He's a good man. What I see, what you see, what we see. فيما يبدو, what we can see, its appearance. And the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, he said, إن أحد, one of you, لا يعمل الزمان الطويل. He will work long life. فيما يبدو للناس, for what people may see or judge. بعمل أهل الجنة. And amal he is doing is the work that can lead others to Jannah. Means it's good work. It's good deeds. He's working for paradise. فيما يبدو للناس. Again, what people may see. لا يعمل بعمل أهل الجنة حتى ما يكون بينه وبينها ذراع فيسبق عليه الكتاب فيعمل بعمل أهل النار فيدخلها. Means he will work long life, following or doing good things that will lead to Jannah. Then his destiny will come before the last moment, before the last day, before the last action. And he do something evil, he die on evil, and he will go to an-nar, to hellfire. Then he mentioned the other category, that there are among you people who will do the same thing. لا يعمل بعمل أهل النار فيما يبدو للناس. He is doing something that may lead to Jahannam, to nar, to fire, for what people may see. And then before his last time, last day, last moment, last action, he does something good of Amalul Jannah, he die on it, and he will be part of people of Al-Jannah. It's hadith in Bukhari. It's an authentic hadith. And the scholar, the way they described the hadith was very clear. They said that that man or that person, because we judge people based on what we see. We don't judge people based on what they are in fact, or what they have inside, or based on their intention, or based on their honor, which we don't know. And this is why always when you have a doubt, go and ask people, what do you mean by saying this? What do you mean in this? What was your intention? And then you leave them for Allah. You are not judge, you don't know their heart. You cannot judge people. You cannot know what people, because he seems to you that he's taqi, he's honest, sincere, and pious, and he's not. Or the opposite. It may seem to you that he's not, and he's عند Allah taqi. You never know. So here in the hadith is very clear that they works with Amal Jannah, the last moment they end up in hellfire. And vice versa. And when Sahaba, the way they interpret this hadith, they said, the interpretation of this hadith, unfortunately, فيما يبدو للناس, that those people are doing a lot of good things, but they are not doing those things for the sake of Allah. He pray, yes, but he pray like the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, الرجل يحسن صلاته. He makes his prayer perfect so people can see that he prayed perfectly. But in fact, he is not praying for Allah. He is praying for people. If those people stop watching him, he will mess up his salat. He may give, but he's not giving for Allah. Because if people stop applauding or stop, recognizing him, she or he will stop giving for Allah. He's teaching, yes, according to what we see. But if people stop, or there is no compensation, or there is no, recognition, he will stop teaching, he will stop doing the da'wah, he will stop advising, he will stop, because why? There's no interest in him. This is why we may see a lot of people doing good things, but they are not doing it for Allah. So at the end, everything will go accordingly to the end, to the destiny that Allah knows about, which we don't know. And vice versa, the other side. This is why Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he considered a riyah that is the most dangerous thing that can destroy mu'min action and ibadah in his entire life. And he said, alayhi salatu wasalam, Inni akhafu ala ummati. I fear from my ummah, I fear, but the thing that I fear more about my ummah is riya, show off. أشد من المسيح الدجال. You talk about المسيح الدجال and he comes and he will deviate people. That's not a big deal for the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because whoever has iman, he will stand and he will be firm and he will fight against him. But which people highlight a lot and talk a lot about المسيح الدجال. You don't need to talk a lot about المسيح الدجال. What we need to talk about is about الرياء. الرياء الاجتماعي والرياء الشخصي والرياء. You see a lot of emails that fulan has this and fulan have that and fulan need the recognition and fulan need a brick, write down his name, and fulan I made him so and forth and I opened this, I did this. It becomes a social phenomenon of riyah. If you do not mention people, people get upset. Why you did not mention my name? Why you did not recognize me in front of people? Why you did not say it's fulan and you have to write down emails and people start answering, I did this and I did that, and we saw it inside our institution, in our masajid. So the epidemic is starting, is growing, is coming from our own masajid and our Islamic institution where we are sending out those wrong signals, and people are confused and the mass people becomes like we. And this is what the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, I have more fear for my ummah about the riyah, because this is how it ended up. A man have been praying for 60 years, but he was not praying for Allah, he was praying for fulan and fulan and fulana. Oh, I'm the first man in the line, in the saf. I sponsored, I built the masjid, I give this, I opened this, I did it. And it's not for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, he called that a-shirk al-khafi, the hidden shirk. And he called it in another hadith, shirkus sara'ir. It's the shirk of the iron that a lot of people do not know. They could not recognize, they forget with the time. With the time they forget to whom he is working. Why am I praying? Why am I fasting? Why am I teaching? Why am I teaching people Quran and the Sunnah and the Hadith and all what da'wah, and I'm giving people shahada. With the time people start forgetting. If there is no recognition, if there is no applaudissement from people, if there is no, people will stop, it will drop. Al-ihtimamu bil-madahir is the most dangerous things, my dear brothers and sisters. People give more importance to the outside, the superficial, not the inside and the intention and the real work for Allah. And Nabi alayhi salatu, or Quran, when he described the hypocrite, you know what he said in the Quran, in Surah Al-Munafiqun? He said, before he said this ayah, he said, ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُمْ قَوْمٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ. They do not comprehend. Why? He said, وَإِذَا رَأَيْتَهُمْ تُعْجِبُكَ أَجْسَامُهُمْ وَإِنْ يَقُولُوا تَسْمَعْ لِقَوْلِهِمْ كَأَنَّهُمْ خُشُبٌ مُسَنَّدَةٌ يَحْسَبُونَ كُلَّ صَيْحَةٍ عَلَيْهِمْ قَاتَلَهُمُ اللَّهُ هُمُ الْعَدُوُّ قَاتَلَهُمُ اللَّهُ أَنَّى يُؤْفَكُونَ. And when you see them, in the translation he said, they do not understand. And when you see them, their forms please you. And if they speak, you listen to their speech. They are as if they were pieces of wood propped up. It's a piece, khushubun musannada. What is khushub musannada? It's a pillar of wood, but inside there is nothing. It's empty. And when you see, a pillar in the masjid, you say it's very simple, because you say this masjid is based, or is, the building those are the infrastructure. You cannot destroy it because it maintains the building. So those, you see them like a big strong wood, or they maintain the building, but no, they are not maintaining anything, because they depend on others. If the others are gone, those pillars has no, this is what means khushubun musanna. They are empty from inside. It's like, there is a earthworm, susa, we call it a susa, it goes into the fruit and it eats everything, it destroys the fruit. When you see the fruit from outside, it looks really great, shiny, but when you take that date and you open it, you see it inside, it's disgusting, so you will throw it in the trash. That's exactly what Riya does with Amal al-Mu'min, with the action of the believer, with his deeds, with his salat, with his siyam. He doesn't know maybe, he cannot recognize maybe, that inside is destroyed, and Allah knows the inside and the outside. And this is why the day of judgment, the angels will come. In the hadith Abu Dawood, the angels will come and they bring big books about a believer. Ya Allah, he did all of this and we witness. Then Allah will take the books and He will throw them in Jahannam. Ya Allah, he prayed. Ya Allah, he was da'iyah. Ya Allah, he taught people. Ya Allah, he built a mosque and hospitals. Ya Allah, we witness. He said, you didn't know for whom he did all this. Let him call his shuraka, sammuhum, name them one by one. Then he will make them talk. I did this for fulan, and I built this for fulan, and I sponsored this for fulan, and I taught for this for... So it's just to please people. Unfortunately, our life, our communities, our masajid, our teaching, our relationship is all based on riyah. It's all based, I'm Dr. Fulan. If I take that DR, no one recognizes me. I have to mention that I'm doctor. I'm Fulan, I'm the scholar, I'm the wherever. If you don't mention that, it becomes necessity for a lot of culture, Muslim culture. So you get introduced with your title. You have no title, you are no one. You do not, for me, you are nothing, you are no one. And this is how people start introducing themselves to our Muslim society. It's based on madahir, superficial. And we judge people based on madahir, superficial. And based on what appears, the outside. And the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he is telling us, this is worse, this is more dangerous than al-Masih al-Dajjal. Because we are all people are working for titles, for what appear. And no one cares about al-amal al-salih, which Allah described, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talk about, and the Quran talk about, and this is what the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, he explained in many hadith about al-mura'i, and the scholar, they said, if you want to save yourself, there is always a way and a cure. If you want to save, sometimes it happens from you. A shaitan comes from that door, from that window, from that exit. And sometimes you do something good and people are happy, which is natural. You cannot stop people being happy when they see good things happening or good people doing good things. You cannot stop them. And sometimes they exaggerate, sometimes they applaud it, sometimes they write down. So when a mu'min is scared of it, what you have to do? The scholars of Islam, they said, do the same thing you did publicly, do it secretly. The same amount, the same level, the same work. If you pray and your prayers are mashallah, and people know that you do qiyam al-layl, and you lead the prayer, and you do taraweeh, and you do pray, and you do nawafil in the masjid, you pray, volunteer. Do the same thing while you are on your own, between you and Allah only. Do the same thing. If you recite the Quran and people knows you as Qari or Hafiz, or you memorize the Quran, and every time they see you with the Mus'haf in the masjid, try to have the same amount of time in your home where no one can see you. This is how you balance it. The day of judgment you are safe with Allah. If you give the same thing, give in the other side where no one can know about it except Allah. And when you take it, Ya Allah, those are my a'mal that even no one knows, close or far. And there are salihin, some of the salihin said, Ya Allah, I wish if I can do good deeds without even angel recognizing it. Al-Imam al-Ahnaf radiyallahu anhu, he used to go to the masjid and he's fasting. And everybody know he is fasting. He's sawam, qawwam, hafiz, alim, scholar. But what he does some kind of, I don't know, stick or, in his lips. So it seems like he just ate. He just took lunch or dinner, or everybody can, he's not sa'im. He just do it on his lips and he goes to the masjid. So just to avoid people saying, he's sa'im today. He was sa'im yesterday. He will make some next day. And they try to fake so people can see the opposite. Ya Allah, I wish if my a'mal are hidden even from the angels. This is what used to be his dua. I wish, Ya Allah, if I can do something that even the angel cannot recognize, only Allah will recognize it the day of judgment. So if you are worried about this, like said the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, balance it. Do the same when you are on your own. When you cry in the masjid and in front of people in Taraweeh, do the same when you are on your own. Cry to Allah when no one can see your tears except Allah. No one can see your aneen except Allah. No one can see your sincerity except Allah. And there is hadith here written in Abi Dawood. They said Abu Musa al-Ash'ari from Tariq ibn Asakir والطبري من حديث عمران بن حسين رضي الله عنه أن رجلا جاء إلى حذيفة بن اليمان. A man went to Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman, who have the list of hypocrite people. Nabi gave it to him before he passed away. He went and said, Ya Hudayfa, am I among the hypocrites? He said, why? He said, I want to know. He said, that the secret that Nabi gave it to me, I will not tell anybody. They said, okay, do you know anything about me? He said, I will ask you 2 questions. He said, what are the questions? He said, أَتُصَلِّي إِذَا خَلَوْتَ? Do you pray on your own when you are only between you and Allah? He said, yes. أَتَسْتَغْفِرُ إِذَا أَذْنَبْتَ? Do you ask Allah forgiveness when you are only with you and Allah, no one can see you? Do you give when you are only He said, yes. He said, مَا جَعَلَكَ اللَّهُ مُنَافِقًا. This is not the sign of hypocrite. You are not a hypocrite. Girl, you are safe. أتصلي إذا خلوت أتتصدق إذا خلوت أتصوم إذا خلوت. And so this is the balance he gave it to him. You do those things when you are on your own, when no one can see, no one can recognize, no one close, no one far, except you and Allah. Do you have those things? Yeah, you are not in hypocrite. Hypocrite, we can never ever do these things. This is what he told him. السر والعلانية. Then Abdullah ibn Zubayr said a beautiful statement. He said, من استطاع أن تكون له خبيئة عمل فليفعل. Whoever can have خبيئة عمل. What is خبيئة عمل? You have a package, you deserve it, you reserve it only for Allah the day of judgment. Only for Allah. You go to Allah, you meet Allah. Ya Allah, this is what I did for you, to your face, to be pleased with you. Whoever can have that package with him or can work on that package, let him do it and let him have it in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Khabi'atul a'mal. Unfortunately, like I said, we are living in a time where majority of us, no one is thinking about khabi'atul a'mal. And everybody is thinking about fadihatul a'mal. You do something, go ahead in the internet and write down the email and send to the insul jinn. I did this, I get those, I achieved this, I perfect this, and let people see how many people will see your email, and how many people will applaud it, and how people will answer back, and how many people. Unfortunately, it's the day of today. It's the disease of the Muslim, the disease of our communities, the disease. And if maybe we start thinking if you are not recognized, it's wrong. It's not wrong in Allah, because Allah knows how to recognize الرجل الصالح والمرأة الصالحة والعمل الصالح. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه، والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم. عباد الله، اتقوا الله ما أمر وانتهوا عما نهاكم عنه وحذر وزجر وأخرجوا حب الدنيا من قلوبكم إنه إذا استولى أسر. And the last story I will end my khutbah with, and we were talking about all those topics are continuity of sa'ada, the happiness, how to be happy. And I said, one of the things that make the believer happy is to be happy with his rizq, with his sustenance that comes from Allah. Once you are happy, that's one of the reason why the believer, or how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make the believer happy. They said Imam Hatim al-Asam, of course he was one of the well-known awliyaullah al-muttaqeen, one of the ulama of his time in Baghdad. And he has nine kids, 9 female. And of course, one day he decided to go and continue studying from the shuyukh. So he has to travel. So when he traveled, his wife tried to convince him, to whom you are leaving us? We don't have even the provision of today. We don't have even the provision of tomorrow. He said, this is talabul ilm. I cannot stop going. I cannot stop not seeking knowledge. I have to go. There is Sheikh al-Fulani who came in that area. I have to meet him and take al-hadith or ilm from him. She tried to convince him. The daughter, his daughter starts crying. They may think that he's going for 6 or 3 months. But it was just few days. Then one of his daughters, she said to her mom, she said, leave him. Let him go. She said she was one of his most, pious or righteous, after she becomes one of the scholars of the ummah. She told to her mom, let him, لَقَدْ تَرَكَنَا لِحَيٍّ رَزَّاقٍ لَا يَمُوتُ. He left us for hayy, living, razzaq لَا يَمُوتُ. He may go, he may die, he may never come back. So what next? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who sustain us and sustain him. He's not the razzaq. The husband is not the razzaq. And the wife, she's not the razzaq. And the family are not the razzaq. And the job is not the razzaq. Ar-razzaq is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If your husband died, ar-razzaq is still hayy la yamut. He's still alive. She said, let him go. He left us for al-hayy ar-razzaq. Then he was happy for his daughter, the way she understood, the way he taught her. And then the night came and they have no food. Really, they have no food. And the mom and the other sisters came to her and she said, you were supporting him. You were saying, let him go and let him study and let him this. And they tried to approach her to make her feel guilty because of you that you encourage him. And they spent the whole night till al-Isha. The only thing they have is water. And then suddenly someone knocked the door and they said, when he knocked the door, he said, do you have water? The girls start laughing. They said, Alhamdulillah, that's the only things we have. At least we did not send him back. That, yes, of course, for sure we have the water. So they give him water, and it was a cavalry group of people riding horses. So they give them all water, they drink water, and then of course, one of them, and he was al-Amir, he said, Baytu man hadha. And al-Amir, he was al-Khalifa Ja'far al-Mansur. He was the Khalifa himself, the emperor, the sultan of the whole entire dunya at that time. He said, Baytu man hada. The house is whom? They said, this is Bayt Hatim al-Ta'i. Oh, he said, Hatim al-Ta'i, alim al-Muslimin, the most well-known scholar of the Muslim. Then they drink, alhamdulillah, thank you very much. Before he left, he said, whoever loves Khalifa, let him put something in that door. So Khalifa started, he put a bag full of gold and he threw it on the door. So of course the whole entire cavalry group with him, of course they were shy in front of Khalifa. Everybody gets something and they threw it on the door. And they left. The daughter came to close the door, they could not close the door. It was full of package of gold and dananir. And this Imam al-Dhahabi who wrote this story. It's not a telling story. It's Imam al-Dhahabi in his book Mizan al-I'tidal. So he said, Sir Alam al-Nubala, sorry. He said they could not close the door because of it was full of gold, package and akiyas min al-dhahab. And then the daughter, the one who told them, let him go. He left us for al-Hayy al-Razzaq. Let him go. This is what he is doing is for his akhirah. And he left us with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She told the mom and all the girls, her sister, she said, نظرة من المخلوق أغنتنا فما بالكم لو نظر إلينا الخالق الرزاق. نظرة is just one, it's catch, it's an eye view from al-makhluq, a creature like us, make us the most rich family in the entire village. From the level of poverty, they become the most rich human family in the whole maybe city. Nadra, one nadra view from al-makhluq, a human being like us. Look, in 1 hour, look where we were and look where we are. How about if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala watched and see us and He gave us from His bounty and rahmah. نظرة من المخلوق أغنتنا فما بالكم بنظرة من الخالق. My dear brother and sister, like they said, الحكمة العطاء من المخلوق حرمان والمنع من الله إحسان. When the creature, when a human being give you, he is depriving you. And when Allah take from you, he is giving you. This is how الحكمة said, and this is what our ulama said. أسأل الله تعالى أن ينفعنا بما علمنا ويزيدنا علما وعملا متقبلا. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه تجدوه غفورا رحيما. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. وقوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمني الله وإياكم.